Once upon a time, in a room full of wonders, where every step leads to magic, and the journey of a true story begins here, with amazing guests and true miracles. Please like and subscribe for more amazing videos.
Well, thank you so much for having me as your guest. So what happened was it was the summer of 1997, and I was newly pregnant, and I had no idea of what was going to come up. And we were just very, very excited. We had a toddler, but there'd also been years of infertility, as well as 2 ectopic pregnancies. So it was just a really big deal to have had that first OBGYN visit and to hear from the doctor's perspective that everything was looking great and was looking like a healthy pregnancy. I had 2 things, though, that didn't seem right to me and weren't making sense. And one was I had so much pain, so much heartburn, and I'd actually called the doctor's office several times, and they had said, oh, go ahead and take Mylanta. Every pregnancy can be different. So I was doing that, but it was not helping at all. And I was also having this really scary, vivid dream many times a week. And it was the same dream, and I'd never had that experience before of just such a vivid dream that would repeat. I didn't know the concept of prophetic dreams, that we can be dreaming about something in the future to help us, to get our attention, to let us know that we might need to take action on something. And what I would see in this dream was I would see this terrible storm at sea, and I'd see a big sailing craft, but all the winches and the cleats would tear off, and the masts would break off, and the ship would go down. It would just break into it and go down. So it doesn't take a master dream interpreter to tell you, Wendy, your ship's about to go down. Pay attention. Pay attention. So the day of the first near-death experience, I was working at home. I was home alone. I just could not get comfortable. And all of a sudden, I had this terrible sense of impending doom. And I've never had that before. So I ran into the bathroom thinking, I'm going to be sick. Something's really, really wrong here. And once I got into the bathroom, I just had this searing pain in my abdomen, and so much pain. I looked down in shock, because it felt like someone had literally stuck a knife into me, and it felt like an organ had burst. I didn't know what was happening. So I cried out to God for help, because I knew I was going down, and I passed out. So I lost consciousness, and I was lying on the bathroom floor just in a fetal position, just clutching my midsection. And I only came back to consciousness because there was this insistent male voice, and he just kept saying, Wendy, Wendy, you've got to wake up now or you're going to go home. And I knew exactly what he meant, that I was going to die if I didn't get help. So I opened my eyes to see who was talking to me, and it was unbelievable. The entire bathroom was just lit up with these 4 or 5 huge angels, and much bigger than people. They were more like 8, 9, 10 feet tall, and just so much love coming from them, so much wisdom, so much support, and just the light that was coming off them. The bathroom had never been brighter with the light from these angels. So I'm just trying to take this all in, like, oh my goodness, angels are real, and what's happening, and I know they want to help me. So he repeated, you need to get help now or you're going to go home. And my answer to him was, I understand, but I can't walk. I can't get to the phone. Because this was 1997. We didn't have cell phones, glued to our back pocket or glued in our hand. I needed to get to a landline. And what he said to me I think was on multiple levels, and I've since learned that is how angels speak. There's just such layers of meaning in what they say. And he said, you just have to be willing to try. And I think he was referring to free will, because no one can come in and just, magically change anything in our lives for us without our permission and without us putting forth the effort and doing the work. So I managed to get up on my hands and knees. I couldn't stand. I couldn't get up any further than that. It took all I had. And the moment I was able to accomplish that, it was like being gently moved, gently flown, just assisted, and all of a sudden I'm the short distance right at the nightstand next to the bed, right adjoining the bathroom, and I can reach up from the floor, because I'm still on the floor, and I can reach up and grab the phone. And I did have a quick thought of who do I call? He didn't say who to call. He just said call for help. So I decided to call my husband at work, because I knew he worked very close to home. And there the miracles continued, because I had never reached him at work before on the first call like that, but I got him right away. And I give him a lot of credit, because all I said was, I need you to drive me to the hospital now. Can you take me to the hospital now? And all he said was, on my way. And I could hear him throw down the phone. So I had just enough time to call the OBGYN office. I explained that I was having incredible pain in my abdomen, and my abdomen was distending, just getting larger and larger, and I didn't understand why. And they told me, I told them that my husband was on his way, and he'd be home in less than 5 minutes to pick me up and to get me to their office. And they said, great, because at this point he's going to get you here faster than 911, so that's perfect. And they said, when you get here to our office, and my OB/GYN office was located right at the hospital. I think that was really important for me too. I was just so fortunate and so assisted with everything that happened. So they said, don't park when you get here. We're going to meet you curbside, and we're going to have a wheelchair for you. We don't want you walking. So I had just enough time to I didn't even try and stand up. I just was able to grab my purse, and I crawled to the stairs, because I was upstairs in our house, and I went down the stairs on my bottom like a toddler, because I didn't want to try and stand up. And I got to the first floor, and I was waiting right at the front door. I unlocked the front door, and my husband kind of helped pick me up and scoop me up and got me into the car. So we drove to the hospital, and they whisked me up into the OBGYN office, straight into an ultrasound room. And the ultrasonographer's adjusting the machine, and I'm looking at it. And I've had ultrasounds before. I mean, it's kind of amazing what you can see. Just there's so much that can be viewed, and I'm not seeing anything. It just looks to me like it's all black and like it's moving a little bit. So I said to her, is that machine on? Is your machine working correctly? And her reply was, I'm going to get the doctor now. So she left the room, and I'm looking at my husband like, oh, this is not good. I don't know what's going on, but this is not good. So the ultrasonographer returns quickly. She's got an OBGYN physician with her, as well as a certified nurse midwife. And we're now all crammed, 5 of us, into this little tiny room that's meant for 2 people. So the doctor adjusts the ultrasound machine, and he realizes what's happening, and tells me as kindly as he can, but very to the point. And he said, Wendy, you've got a major abdominal bleed. I can't visualize where it's coming from, but you're losing a lot of blood very quickly, and that's why you're in so much pain, and that's why your abdomen is distending so much. And the ultrasound is working fine, but what you're seeing on the screen is that's all blood. It's just all blood loss. That's what is obscuring the view of any of your organs. So we need to admit you to the hospital right now. We need to get you into a bed and make a plan of what we're going to do. So someone ran and got a stretcher. They didn't even want me sitting upright in the wheelchair, and they took me over to the GYN floor and lifted me into the hospital bed and just admitted me there bedside. So one of the nurses, because there were multiple people coming in to help, and I had the doctor with me, and one of the nurses asked me, "Do you know your blood type?" And I said, "Absolutely, everyone should know their blood type. It's A negative." So she said, "Great, I'm going to go call the Puget Sound Blood Bank and get some units of blood for you right now," because the doctor had already written the orders for transfusion. And my point about everyone should know their blood type, there's now these free apps that you can put on your phone called In Case of Emergency. It's an ICE app. And if you're ever in a situation where you cannot speak for yourself, you're in an accident, you're ill, it is so important to have that, because the medics, they don't need to know the password to your phone. They can pull up that app and look at your blood type, any allergies, anything essential. So I think it's just great for people to have that on there, that information on there. So the nurse comes back into the room a few minutes later. She does not look happy, and she said, "I cannot get A negative." She tells the doctor and me, "I cannot get A negative blood for her because evidently there was a train collision in Seattle several days ago, and it has wiped out the supply of A negative blood at the Puget Sound blood bank." And this is a central blood bank, so this is a big deal. So we're discussing, are we going to take me straight to surgery? What are we going to do? But we don't have blood, and she's going to go and call around to some of the major hospitals nearby and see if she could borrow blood from them, since there was none at the blood bank. And we don't know where this is coming from, and I'm pregnant, so no one wants to rush into surgery either if that's not the best path. So I know that I need to just lie flat in the bed. They're giving me pain relievers because I'm in so much pain, and I'm just writhing around in the bed. And they were able to get blood for me about 6 hours later, but I can see and just feel I'm going through it at an alarming rate. But we decide to do what's called wait and watch. I was being very well attended, and I agreed and felt that was the best plan, because, as I said, no one wants to rush into surgery on a pregnant woman. And I'm just trying to visualize, this just resolving on its own, because our bodies are a miracle, and they're just regenerating themselves all the time. So I am kind of going through in my mind, okay, what are the non-essential organs, if I'm right, and an organ burst? Appendix, gallbladder, I can't think of any more. And so we're just monitoring. I can't get out of the bed even to go to the bathroom, just lie prone, see if we can get the bleeding to stop. And if we can transfuse enough that this is going to resolve in that manner via transfusion medicine. Walking between worlds, it was very hard to stay conscious, to focus, to answer questions when medical personnel would come in and tend to me. And what concerned me the most about that was I didn't really care. That is so not my personality. I have always been, get it done, figure it out, there's got to be a way. So this was really concerning, but I was just, getting flatter and flatter than a pancake energy-wise, because my chi was leaving, my life force was leaving. So on the third day, my physician says to me, "Wendy, this probably won't be a surprise to you, but your hematocrit is just dropping so low, because they, of course, were, drawing blood at least daily, and more often as needed, to just see how I was doing and what was going on. And the bottom line was they could not transfuse me quickly enough, because I would lose the blood faster than they could transfuse it. So he told me, he says, the only option at this point is surgery. We need to do surgery. So I agreed to that, and I knew it was the best decision to make at that point. I was very comfortable with my own physician, because I hadn't just had my daughter delivered by him. I'd had 2 ectopic pregnancy surgeries. I'd gone through infertility treatment with him, and I also knew I worked in healthcare, so I kind of knew more about the various hospitals and who needed to be where for what than most people would know. And my community hospital closest to home, marvelously, was delivering about 5,000 babies a year at that time. So I knew that meant they had a deep infrastructure for OB emergencies also. So my physician brought up, should we transfer you downtown? Should we take you down to one of the big main medical centers? It's like, no, I'm meant to be right here. I'm in an OBGYN hospital. I'm meant to be right here. So I agreed to the surgery. It was going to be 2 OBGYN physicians, my own doctor and one of his partners. The next morning, I was going to be the first surgery of the day. So the night before surgery, I'd had my dinner at 4:30 and no one was with me. I'm trying to just visualize the best possible outcome. The moment I have that thought, I pop right out of my body. I leave my body. Oh, the relief of that. I felt so much better. I wasn't so scared. I wasn't in pain anymore. I just felt so much better. And I look back over my left shoulder and I could see myself in the hospital bed, my body. I could see myself as Wendy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at her. She is a hot mess. And my sense of humor was returning. I'm not so scared and I'm not in pain anymore. And I'm noticing these details. I'm like, look at her. She's whiter than the sheets, and her hair, she just looks like the wild woman of Borneo. Because of course there's been no comb or brush or mirror for like 3+ days. So, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I referring to myself in the third person? I'm like, she, her. And I tune into my body, and I could tell I was in pure soul form and just feeling better and better and better by the minute. So I understood that was my body. And of course the body is very important. It houses our eternal soul, and we're meant to just, treat our bodies well and beautifully, as the temple, and take the best care of them that we can. But we're not our bodies, so that was obviously clear as day. And so I tuned back into what I felt like in soul form, and I can see this white light. It was like a triangle coming from the ceiling of the hospital room, and I just want to follow that. So I look back one more time at my body in the hospital bed and go, she's fine. Not fine at all, but very blasé about the human body, because it wasn't me. So I want to follow that light. That's exactly what I do. So I start going up and up and up, following the light, feeling better and better. I'm not so scared. I'm not in pain anymore. I feel more and more like myself. I'm starting to remember things. Things are making more sense to me. I feel more joyful. And I go up and up and up. And then at a certain point, it was like, oh no. It felt like if you've ever been driving a car that ran out of gas, and that terrible feeling of like, oh no, don't run out of fuel. And I just stuttered to a stop. And I was just completely out of energy. And I had this thought, oh, please don't make me walk through that long tunnel to get home. And again, this is 1997. I'm 36 years old. I know really next to nothing about near-death experiences. I'm not listening to podcasts like this. I'm not reading books about it. There's not documentaries. It's a different time. So there wasn't so much information available about it then. But the minute I have this thought, don't make me go through the tunnel. I don't have enough energy. I won't make it. This pristine escalator drops in for me, and I'm so happy to see it. There's no one else on it. It's beautiful, so clean, so much light coming from it, and I plop myself on it gratefully, and I get a ride. And it just goes up and up and up. And because I'm on the escalator, I plopped myself over the right handrail, and in doing so, that made me realize, oh wow, I'm like a tire with no air in it. I'm just flatter than a pancake, and I get the sense of what my energy is like because I'm getting on the escalator. So it takes me up to the top. And the minute I get off the top of the escalator, clearly a welcoming committee knew I was coming home. So there's 18 or 20 members of my soul family there. And there's also the same 4 or 5 angels that were in my bathroom. They're standing behind, and I can tell they're angels because they're larger and there's just more light coming from them. But everyone just gathers me up in this group hug. I could have stayed there forever because it was unconditional love. There was no judgment. And to feel that sense of support that these souls, these individuals, your soul family, and the angels just knew me so well, knew everything about me, but everything is accepted, and to get that unconditional love, it was just incredible. And that made me realize we don't experience that very often on earth, and it made me realize we've got to give that to ourselves. We have to know how to have that love and compassion for ourselves. And as we do that, we're also going to radiate it out to other people more meaningfully too, so that they can feel that and not feel that love is so conditional and so judgment attached to it. So I'm just basking in this. And as I said, would have stayed there forever, except Archangel Michael starts talking to me again. And the minute he spoke, I thought, oh my goodness, of course, that's who was in my bathroom. I am so fortunate that that's who came, and is just so clear. And what he said was, welcome home. We're so glad you're here. You made it. You've done nothing wrong. You're welcome to stay. But if you choose to go back, you're going to need to decide quickly. And I flashed back on that body in the bed, and I thought, yeah, absolutely, because there's no soul there, and she's bleeding out. So, and he continues, and I'm thinking, why would I go back? I'm getting this unconditional love, and I'm home. I just want to charge forward and see more and just have these reunions. But they're just, everyone's just, okay, we brought the party to you, we brought the reunion to you. You need to just be right here, or you won't be able to go back if you charge forward more. So Michael continues, and he says, I can tell you 3 things to help you make your decision. Number 1, if you choose to go back, you will have a successful surgery tomorrow, and you will fully regain your health. Well, that is huge to know that. So that's like a lot of the weight of the world starts to come off my shoulders to know that. Number 2, if you choose to go back, your baby will be born healthy. This is also tremendous to know this, because of course I'm very concerned because I've had transfusions, I've had morphine. This is not what's recommended in the first trimester of pregnancy. And we still have to get through the surgery and whatever's going on with what's causing this bleeding. But knowing that I'm going to have a healthy baby and regain my health, and I've got this beautiful toddler, this is a big deal. And we so wanted to have a second child. And as I said, after the years of infertility and the ectopic pregnancies, and I was 36, I just felt like this is my last chance to have this really special child. So I'm starting to kind of teeter. Okay, now I know why I would want to go back. And then Archangel Michael shares the kicker. He shares number 3, and he says, if you go back, your life will be very difficult, likely for many years, because you're not living your purpose. You're not on your life path. So my energy just plummets. I'm like, oh, if I were to return, to my body and my life that I was living, it would be very difficult because I wasn't living my path or purpose. So that's what he was letting me know. So instead of it being a life review, it was a preview of coming attractions. He was telling me what life would be like if I chose to go back. So I am horrified to hear this. No one wants to hear they're not living their purpose and they're not on path. So of course I look at him like, well, tell me more. What am I supposed to be doing or not doing, or what should I let go of? Because I want to get this right. I'm so willing to change. Just tell me. And he just gently shakes his head. So I know he's not going to tell me anything more. But it's like, well, wait a minute. There's other angels here. My whole soul family is here. There's got to be, come on, we know group dynamics. You just have to find the chatty Cathy in the group. You have to find who's going to spill the beans. So I'm going around to them one by one, trying to get information. What's my path? What's my purpose? And no one will tell me. So, because they're not supposed to, but it takes me a minute to catch on to that. So my energy is just plummeting again because I can't get any information. So they see this because it's just perfect telepathy at home. We're all one, and they know I'm like just deflated by this, that I can't learn anything. So they start being super funny. They start being really silly. And I just feel like sense of humor is one of our best coping mechanisms. It just brings so much joy to life, and to just be able to do our best to smile and laugh no matter the situation or the challenge. So they start like putting duct tape over their mouths, but they're being silly, and throw away the key. And so I just start laughing. I was like, okay, I get it. You're not supposed to tell me. I get it. I have to figure it out for myself. So everyone looked the same. Everyone in my soul family, they look like big beach balls, these big delightful orbs, very bouncy, so much like a lightning storm inside them. Everyone looks the same, but I know exactly who they are. You know the soul energy. But it made me realize multiple things. We need to let go of these ridiculous biases and prejudices against different ethnicities and cultures, and they make no sense. We're all the same. We're all eternal souls. And the angels were larger, more light coming from them, so I could tell the difference between my soul family members and the angels. I could recognize, though, there were 5 that came to the forefront, that came up to the front as they all gave me that big hug. I recognized all 4 of my grandparents. I was not surprised to see my mom's parents, my maternal grandparents. I knew them very well. I had lived with them, and they'd passed on years before. That made perfect sense to me that they were part of my welcoming committee. I also recognized my dad's parents, and it was so cool. It was so neat to get to reunite with my paternal grandparents, because they died before I was born in this lifetime. But it made me realize, we have multiple lifetimes with soul family and soulmates and soul members like that. So that was just amazing to get the reunion with them. And also, one of my best friends in this lifetime was right there, and greeting me and welcoming me home. She is very much alive. So that took me a minute to work out in my head. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That's her higher self energy, because I know she's incarnated in a body. But what that told me was we've always got this beautiful aspect of us at home, and that means there's no missed reunions. Because I often hear people worrying about, well, what if, when I die, I go on home, I go on back up to the light, and I really want to see my favorite great aunt again, or whoever's, most important to you. But what if she's reincarnated and I miss her? Well, you won't miss. You always get the reunions that you want, that are most meaningful to you, because even though the person's reincarnated, they only reincarnate with a portion of their energy. Higher self always has some energy at home. So that was very, very reassuring to me. So Michael then asks me, what do you want to do? And the minute he asked me this question, all I can see is our toddler's face. I can see Tara's adorable face, but it's not normal size. It fills my world view. It's like bigger than an IMAX 70-foot screen. It's all the way to the top, to the bottom. It curves around me. All I can see is her beautiful little face, and she had this brown curly hair and these huge hazel eyes. And I can just see her smiling at me. And I also know I'm going to regain my health and I'm going to have another healthy baby. So when Michael asked me that question, I said, put me back in, coach. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go back. And what I meant by put me back in was I'm ready to play. I meant I was going to figure out the path and the purpose, and I was going to do my best to engage with life at a deeper level than I had been able to do before, because I had a lot of anxiety before that, and so I'd been playing it pretty small. So he's got this beaming smile, and everyone goes into cheerleader mode, and they're like, we love you, we're gonna be with you, we're cheering you on, you're so brave, it's a great decision, get back in there. And so everyone gives me one more second huge hug. And that time I could feel not only the unconditional love and support that is there for all of us, but I could feel a download of energy coming to me. Because as I said, I was just flatter than a pancake. I did not have much life force left at that point. So I can feel this infusion of energy to assist me from everyone. And so we break off from that beautiful embrace, and Michael just gently spins me around and puts me back down on the down escalator. And I look over my shoulder, and I'm really grateful for the experience. I'm at peace with the decision I've made. And everyone, as I said, they're in cheerleader mode. Get in there, you can do it, you'll figure it out. And I just gently, so I'm waving and everyone's waving to me, and I just go straight back into the hospital room, and I see my body, and I'm next to the bed just for a second, and I'm like coming down, and I just gently plop back into my body. And then that white light just starts to just gently go, go away, and that opening isn't there anymore. Two immediate thoughts as I get back into my body. First one was, I'm glad I've got that surgery tomorrow, because I'm in so much pain. I am so happy we're going to get this addressed tomorrow. Whatever's going on, we're going to get it addressed tomorrow. And the other thought will have to fit myself and scrunch into this little body, this little 5'2" human body just was annoying to me. Because our higher self, our soul energy is so much bigger. So to have to scrunch into this human body, but then it's like, okay, I picked it. There's reasons for it. It is what it is. I just need to fit myself back in here again and be at peace with it and take great care of it. Near-death experiences, it was like taking a chisel to my brain and my body to get me to crack open. Several more stages would need to occur, but yes, I am just so delighted that that's what I get to do now. Is I have the spiritual gift of helping people release energy that no longer serves them, whether it's chronic pain, both physical and emotional, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression or stuck energy. But to be able to help people release that in a healthy, amazing way, they just feel so much happier, so much healthier, and that their life has a beautiful purpose and that they can understand and live that purpose. So it's my honor to get to do that. It's so much fun. There's reasons why our information is in our book of life, and because it needs to be, the prompt that I give to clients, to people, is to go to the time and place with the most uplift and healing and information for your life today. So we're making sure that it's useful and appropriate and productive for today, because we're not on this, fishing expedition of, looking for XYZ, because you're right, the human ego can get involved and can be overly curious. Oh, I want the lifetime when I was beautiful and famous and wealthy, and people can look for that. That may not be beneficial. So that's why I give the prompt the way that I do. Sessions are via Zoom, and it's a series of 3 sessions. So the first session is 2.5 hours, and there's healing and getting people connected with their guide. And there's multiple things that we do to just get them set up to then go to that time and place with the most uplift and healing and information for their life now. We journey to a crystal cave. We have a healing with the sun. We get grounded with this wise ancient tree. So we do just a lot of things. And then people are able, we go to a healing temple, and many things occur in that healing temple, including we work with each of the chakras, so the life force energy centers. There's a lot that happens to set up to do the past life regression. And then typically the past life regression is session 2. So session 2 is 1 hour after that comprehensive 2.5 hour. And session 3 is also 1 hour. And session 3 is typically us raising our vibration and frequency, leaving the last day in a past life. And again, we're eternal souls, so we can safely leave that past life persona and let it go and go on up to home, going up to the light. And there the client's guide meets us and has their book of life and answers their important questions. So they're able to write up to 20 questions about their health, their wealth and career, their relationships, anything they'd like to know. And if it's not for their highest and holiest to know, the guide will simply say, we just need to let that one be. Or it's too soon for that one. We're gonna let that one alone. It doesn't happen very often, but there is a check and a balance to it of what is shared. And certainly the guide can bring up things that were not on the question list, that are just more important or that need to be addressed. It's whatever's most helpful for the person. So that's how that series of 3 sessions works. I also have on my website, which is wendyrosewilliams.com, there's also links to some fun group events that we can do together. There's the links to my books, as well as to other different types of sessions. What's going on is it's a guided meditation and a hypnotherapy, which is a very gentle state. You're just relaxing, so you feel like you're almost like you're going to fall asleep, but you're able to vision very clearly. Like you said, the third eye opens, and you have free will. So I want people to understand this is not entertainment hypnosis. This is not Las Vegas, dance like a chicken, do silly things. Each person retains their free will and their dignity. This is sacred work at the soul level. So if someone doesn't want to follow a suggestion or a recommendation, they just don't do that. And also they can come out of the state at any time. If they're relaxing and visioning and they're like, oh, oh, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like that. They can bring themselves back to full consciousness and just tell me, what was going on, and we can do things a different way. So people absolutely retain their free will. Nothing is done against your will. And you do have a recording of each of the sessions, and I don't edit them. You get the lessons, you find that peace, as you said, and you can find the love and the joy, even though what you went through may have been very challenging, very difficult, but you're viewing it from that soul level, and then you can just make sense of it. Well, thank you so much for having me as your guest, and thank you for what you're doing. It's really important. Thank you. Bye bye.